Well, if you're feeling like your home is a little out of date, why not switch things up?
It is National Design Week, and celebrity designer Bobby Burke is joining us with some tips on designing with the senses. You may recognize him as one of the Fab Five from Queer Eye.
And right now he's at the Cooper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum in New York City. Welcome. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, I love this designing with the senses. Tell us a little bit more about this.
You know, right now in this day and age, we're so engaged in our technology. We're really only engaging our sense of sight and touch on our smartphone screens. So it's really important to me that we're engaging all of our senses when designing, from our sense of sight to touch to smell to sound. Really engaging everything is quite important these days.
So what are some simple things that we can do, even if we can't go hire a designer? What are some of the trends that we could do a few things at home and really incorporate that?
You know, some of the ways that I like to engage the senses and update is, first of all, your sense of sight. It's the first thing that's engaged when you walk into a room. Changing up colors, changing up lighting. Also your sense of touch and feel. In the living room, changing out your pillows for a textured pillow or a textured throw. Or even in the kitchen, if you don't have the budget to remodel the whole kitchen, updating your countertops and your faucet, like with the Delta Trinsic Pro. The smooth finish on the base and the textured finish on the spout, when you pull it out, it's constantly engaging your sense of touch and feel.
I get how to design with basically 4 of the 5 senses. How do you design for smell?
For smell, your favorite autumn candle. It can definitely not only engage your sense of smell, but remind you of some lovely dinners during Thanksgiving with Grandma. Also like aromatherapy candles, aromatherapy oils. They can really engage your senses, and I like using some that kind of smell like the beach because it takes me back to vacation even when I'm not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right.
Okay, what is that behind you, Bobby?
That behind me is part of the Senses Design Beyond Vision exhibit here at the Cooper Hewitt. They are actually made to look like large pieces of dessert. We've got some cake, some rolls, some what looks like Jell-O behind me. It's very cool. This exhibition is quite engaging.
What is, can you talk to us about some of the trends that are going on in the design world, like some bigger overall trends?
Trends to me, when people ask me what trends to follow, I'm actually not a huge fan of trends because I think when it comes to design, design is so personal that you should really follow what makes you happy. You know, if something, some trend from the 70s makes you happy, embrace it, love it, enjoy it. A lot of the things that are very popular right now is definitely kind of global design. Lots of different textured textiles, not a lot of color. Scandinavian is also very popular right now. It's one of my favorite because it's very minimalist, and my personal design aesthetic is definitely more minimal.
And with sound too, you think we need to, it's not just music, we can add a few accessories that kind of perk up our ears when we're designing.
Yeah, you know, even if you put a nice little, my brain is thinking,
wind chime?
A nice little chime outside your door. Wind chime, there we go. It's too early today. A nice little wind chime, it can really add a sense of ambiance and make it feel serene, like you're at a nice little spa, even when you're just chilling at home.
Bobby, how did you get to where you are? You're quite the popular man. I'm always interested in people's backgrounds and how they got to where they are.
I took a cab this morning.
Seriously, you started out like Bed Bath & Beyond, working retail just like you, Scott.
You know, it's definitely, it's been a journey. You know, I started out in New York in 2003. I moved here with about $100 and a suitcase. And my first job was restoration hardware. And I remember Tom Felicia coming in and filming for Queer Eye in our store a couple times and just being in amazement of him and the show and what it was doing, not just for our community, but for the world as a whole. And yeah, I mean, it's a whole lot in between then and now. But yeah, check out my book coming out in November and you can get more.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
We can look for that. Well, thank you so much. We will take some of your
yeah,
ideas.
the Fab Five, we're all coming out with a book.
Oh, cool. That's very cool.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I'm going to go get a wind chime.
All right, perfect. You can check out more about this exhibition on Instagram at Delta Faucet or at deltafaucet.com/designbeyond.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you so much, Bobby. Continued success.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
For more inspiration from Bobby, head to his website. It's bobbyburke.design.